Hello, everybody. Just doing a live Q&A session for people who are looking for questions that need answered, mainly for the people who have done the free SEO course with me, but anyone else can join in as well. So if you're joining in, let me know where you're from. It's always nice to see where in the world people are from when they're jumping on here, and yeah, I will be answering questions for the next hour. Ask any kind of digital related question, and I'll do my best to answer it as best I can. And I hope you guys all had a great Christmas. Some of you may still be relaxing, but for me, being in lockdown, bored, I'm doing some work, so I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys will be the same in this industry. You never do stop. But yeah, let me know where in the world you're from, and make sure that you do give us a like on the channel, and ask your questions, most importantly. So I'm going to go and just kick off with Maratu. We have a blog that ranks in the top 3 results for our highest value keywords. However, the blog title is Best Examples of Keyword 2020. So my question is, can we change the site title to 2021? Do you have a good chance of keeping your ranking? Does retrospectively changing site titles and URLs have a drastic effect on ranking? And you're also from Northumberland, so you're close to Scotland. Now, of course, it's not ideal to change your URL. If it's just the title, you can change it to 2021 and you'll have no real major impact as such. If you're also going to change the URL because you've got that in the URL, then you're going to have to do a 301 redirect from 2020 to 2021, and that will have a much bigger impact on your rankings. So it's never ideal to have it in the URL. A lot of people do use years in their titles and headers and stuff like that, and that's not a bad thing. But I think, when you've got them in the URLs, it's a bit more problematic. If it's simply in the headers, just go ahead and change them. I've done it for affiliate websites, and it's always worked out well. If it's in the URL as well, you are going to drop traffic to some degree. So try and just change that to a more generic URL in future, and then just continue changing the titles and the headers and whatever else 2021 is, and it should have much less of an impact in the coming years when you're having to change that. Richard B, I hope you're doing well. All good here. I hope you don't mind if I ask a number of questions today. Of course, ask whatever you need, within reason, of course, and you don't get a chance to watch them all. So good to see you, and appreciate you. I've seen you a few times popping around, but yeah, sadly, people I can't catch the whole world, but yeah, ask away, man. Always a pleasure to help. Did you do your own analysis of the December algo update? Anything you can share from your own observations? Again, lots of people, I think you've got to look at the overall picture. A lot of people are trying to say the updates on links or the updates on, intent and stuff like that. For me, I think the algo update, and a lot of affiliate websites have basically dipped. A lot of people who are using the best this or the best that, and the intent on the page doesn't match the intent of the keyword. So I think a lot of sloppy on page has been one of the things that I've seen a lot of dips on, but also you know crappy links have been devalued in some way as well. So it's hard for me to say, but I think a lot of it's intent based. To be honest, I think a lot of it there is focusing on that. From my findings, and I do see a lot of affiliate websites suffering the most But everyone's had a little dip of some kind. No problem at all, mate. What is the best type of SEO services you can get from Fiverr or Upwork? I don't want to be seen to be condoning the use of Fiverr as such, because I think there's a lot of garbage on there. There will be a few gems on Fiverr, I'm sure there is, but it's finding them. You don't want to keep getting your fingers burnt. Upwork, though, I've used to my advantage on many occasions, and you find a lot of different guys with a lot of different skills, and it depends on what you need. There's guys out there who can do pretty much anything. I've had guys in Upwork build me little scripts. I've had guys build me logos. I've had guys build me websites. I've had guys doing schema on there. Literally anything you're weak at, you can get done. You can find content writers in Upwork. Anything you need, you can use to your advantage. So Upwork has got a lot of skilled individuals, but again, it's not as bad as Fiverr. I think there is a bit more quality on Upwork, if you like. But I think you just got to make sure that you're buying what you need, and just make sure you vet these people properly. But you can literally get anything on Upwork. So everything and anything that you're weak at. Is there any way I can stop Google from changing my metadata? It's showing something different. Happy Christmas as well, Paul. I will shoot you a message and have a look at it. Need to see what's going on in the back end of your website. Ryan Durrani's here. Ahoy. Got a site that dropped for head terms, looks authority related, but improved massively for relevancy. Should I now counter that with stronger homepage links? A lot of people will have seen terms drop, that were probably loosely related to the website, and more relevant terms are coming to the forefront. But good quality, stronger links is always going to help. So you should counter that always. Regardless, you do want to get stronger homepage links anyway, on an ongoing basis. But yeah, I think the change has dropped a lot of shittier terms, and I think someone said it in a show before. If you were wanting to rank for candles, for example, and you had a whole bunch of candle related search terms that were maybe not really that relevant to your website, these were going to drop as part of that update, but you're probably going to get a whole bunch of relevant search terms as well. So a lot of people focus on the dip in a lot of stuff that they've had, but have they been hit as massively in the pocket in terms of transactional value? No is the answer. Some people say I've lost 40% of my traffic. Yeah, but if you lost 40% of your revenue, the chances of that happening are pretty slim. So I think what you say, Ryan, is a lot of people have improved in terms of relevancy, and that's Google's job, is to provide more relevant websites for certain search terms. You shouldn't be found for loosely related candle search terms if you only sell men's scented candles, for example. So I think relevancy is becoming more and more a thing, and people panic when they see dips in traffic and stuff. And of course you will. Your keywords drop, you're going to crap your pants. But just remember that there's probably a reason for it, and it's up to you to address that situation. And yes, you can set a meta tag. So I'm not sure, Paula, I'm pretty sure you've told me before that you just leave yours blank and Google will just take what they want. Would I be right in saying that, Paul? Might be wrong. You might not have been the one that said that, but yeah. Ryan Durrani will shoot you a link. Adam Green, hi Craig, great show. For local SEO, would you build citations to separate landing pages for different areas or just the homepage? So Adam, if you've got a website and you've got 5 different location pages, that different areas, then I would be building citations to each and every one of those pages, because the citations for one area are going to differ from another, and it's obviously important. For example, if you've got a Glasgow office, an Edinburgh office, and a Manchester office, that you do have citations for Manchester, for Edinburgh, and for Glasgow all separately. So, citations are the key for local SEO, GMBs, and everything else. And if you genuinely do have those areas, I would be building citations to each of those pages. Now, obviously, when I say you actually have those, as long as you've got a verified listing there, whether you've actually got an office or not, it's irrelevant. But yeah, build them to each of those individual landing pages, because if you just build one set of citations and they're all for the Glasgow office, for example, then your Manchester and stuff like that is just not going to have the desired impact. So yeah, make sure you do cover them all, and you can use SEObuilder.com as a way to do that. If you can't be bothered doing it yourself. Mr. Heopass, and you just asked there as well down at the bottom, any good seller, SEObuilder.com, Robert Kirk does the best job, and I'll explain why he does the best job. So with citations, you get people who just submit 50 or 100 citations. What Robert does is make sure he spins the bios so that your citation, and then sends it to an indexer so that your citations get indexed. It's really important, that part of the small part of the process, that your citations gets indexed, because if it doesn't get indexed, it's passing no value and it's pointless being there. And a big flaw when people are doing citations is they just copy and paste the same shit into loads of different directories, and one of them or two of them get indexed. So for your 100 citations that you've manually built, you're only getting the benefit of two. So that's why Robert Kirk, who has the process and system to make sure that they do get indexed, or the vast majority of them get indexed, is why his service stands out from most others. So that is the key to citations. Richard B, how do you personally build Web 2.0 properties for my money website? So Web 2.0s, you can use Money Robot, SEO Autopilot, a whole bunch of different tools which will help you build your Web 2.0 properties. And you don't want to be manually doing that. And you can manually do it or pay someone on the Upworks or Legit or Fiverr or something to get them. But use automation to do it, because that's what everyone else is doing, and it does it in autopilot. So SEO Autopilot is my preferred choice, followed by Money Robot. So yeah, build them. Use them to do that. Richard B, what type of online business model do you see thriving in 2021? I mean, a lot of businesses thrive online. It really depends on you. I don't think there's many businesses that don't thrive online, or won't. I know guys that sell fitness equipment and stuff, and obviously with lockdown, pandemics, and everything else, these businesses are thriving. But also, people who sell boats or whatever, or holiday homes in a certain location, these are all thriving because people can't travel. Home extensions, people are getting home improvements done a lot, because again, they've got money because they can't get away anywhere, so they're improving their homes. So I think a lot of stuff, people still want to buy things and improve things. So pretty much many online business models, other than hotels and stuff like that, don't jump into hotel affiliate or something, because hotels may still suffer in 2021, and I hope they don't. But I don't see this pandemic going away anytime in the short term. So try and anything that's going to be of interest that people's going to thrive. Buying clothes, affiliate, client work. More clients now realize the importance of being online. So all of these things, are going to work really well. Just use a bit of common sense, and just, as I say, don't dive into hotel affiliate or something, because that's going to be hard to get off the ground. But I think a lot of businesses are thriving online, and they are just generic businesses. But anything to do with travel or hotels, you are going to be in a bit of a sticky situation. So do avoid that. So back up. G Rana, does keyword in the domain help in SEO? I believe it does help in some way, nowhere near as much as it used to help. I think everyone will tell you that exact match domains do not have the same impact as they once did. But does it help in some way? Yeah, I would say it does help slightly, but it's not the be all and end all. I wouldn't be going out there to actively, force it. I think I you can rank any domain with SEO, good SEO and good on page and everything else. But does it help? Yes, it can probably help with click through. So if you're a digital marketer, maybe have something digital in there to show people what you are rather than maybe jrana.com, because no one knows what jrana does. So I think in terms of click through rate and potentially a bit of help towards showing Google what you are, it does help somewhat, but it's not going to be the be all and end all. You could potentially rank jrana.com for anything you really wanted to with the right SEO. So it depends if you want to long term build a brand or whatever. So but it does have a small amount of benefits still, in my opinion. Not me, another website. Meta description on page isn't being used by Google. I do leave mine blank. So if you're leaving it blank, Paul, then you are basically leaving it up to Google to take the description from that page. So that is why you're not, or why that may change from time to time. You want to make sure that you put in the desired meta description, and that will be used by Google. So it's easy fix, man. Answered that one. How new content writer can get order? You're going to have to go into Facebook groups, do demonstrations, show people why they should use you. Give case studies, examples. You can get loads of people are looking for good content writers, and when I say good, it has to be of a sufficient standard. There's a million content writers out there begging for work. They're, sadly, 90% of them are just not good enough. But if you are good enough, people will be flocking to you. So just putting out examples of your work in Facebook groups, talking to people, showing them how good you are at it, showing your costs and everything else. I know guys that buy content all day long from good content writers. Everyone in this group would probably kill for a good content writer. So as long as you can prove your worth, then I don't see you having any problems in getting orders. Just showcase it to everyone. So keep the questions coming, guys. Do also give us a little like and subscribe if you haven't already. What is my opinion about not niche relevant expired domains to use them as a redirect? So for me, I think non-niche relevant. So would I grab a gambling expired domain and point it to my SEO website? The relevance is just not there. I think that's just a waste of time, in all honesty. So I'm not a fan of that. I've always been more relevant focused, not just in the last year or two, but I've always been that way. Like, why would you send something that's not relevant to your niche to redirect to your website? Getting traffic or getting backlinks is one thing. We're no longer looking for those numbers as such. It's quality and relevance is really important. So I would be focusing strongly on that. It's going to work best for you. Ryan Durrani, thoughts on disavowing links with exact match anchor text from low quality sites that have historically propped up a site, risky or just getting rid? So I think it can be potentially risky. What I would do is build other links first and then slowly remove them. It depends on the volume. Now, at the end of the day, you don't want to have links from low quality junk websites with exact match anchor. That's just not good enough. But they have historically propped up a website. If you do remove them and they do have any kind of authority, you are going to see a dip, which is why you're better building replacing that quality with more generic anchor text, and then just if you build 3 links, just remove 3 on the other end, rather than getting that dip. Now you may or may not get dipped. I've done disavows on crappy links and not really seen an impact at all. But Lisa Graves, who disavowed some stuff that she thought was pretty crappy, and they were actually passing a fair bit of power to her website, and her website took a bit of a dip. So, I've seen both sides of that, and that is not what you want. So be careful with it. I would just be building some more quality and then starting to remove them as you go. Just don't do everything rashly and remove like 20 links or something. Build 5, remove 5, and just do it over a prolonged period of time. James Jernigan. Speaking of Money Robot, I noticed much better results sending those links to blogs and social posts than directly to my website. Have you noticed this? So I would never send Money Robot directly to my money website ever. Sending them to social posts, sending them to YouTube videos, sending them to guest posts, and stuff like that. Yes, for sure, that's what I've always done with it. Absolutely no chance in the world would I use Money Robot directly at a money website. Absolutely no chance. So I use it, and I use it to prop up guest posts and fire some stuff at YouTube and so on. But yeah, that definitely never to directly to the money website. I just think there's Google are well aware of what Money Robot is and the links it produces and stuff like that, and I just wouldn't have it at my money website at all. I think it's the same with niche edits and SEO autopilot. It's nothing against Money Robot. I just wouldn't use any of them direct to a money website. Automation, just it's crazy. And I know guys who do use them direct to the money website, but what I would say here, James, is that there's certain niches that will tolerate spam, such as casino and stuff like that. And also there's certain countries that spam just still works. For Poland, for example, spam still works very, very well. We're not playing with the same algorithm that maybe the UK or the US work with. So you get guys that will say, oh, you can send it to your money website. That's fine doing that on your Polish website, but being in America or the UK, absolutely not. So I think you need to be careful and test that stuff out. And for me, I use it just as part of my tiered link building. If I'm honest, I just wouldn't tolerate, and I like to try different stuff, but I just wouldn't send it to a money website. I think that's just an accident waiting to happen. So yeah, there you go. Raghuveer, what kind of link building techniques you will use to rank finance niche related websites in UK to rank for highly competitive keywords? I mean, you want to mix your link building up. So of course, get some generic guest posts just to power up the website. Then you would want to get some very relevant, powerful guest posts. You can either buy them off of a vendor, do some outreach or whatever, prop those up with some niche edits and stuff like that, and use a sprinkling of PBNs. I think and do some PR stuff. I think no matter what, you want to mix up your link building strategy. You're not going to probably rank in the finance niche with a handful of guest posts. You're going to have to do a lot more than that. So I think a mixture of PBNs, guest posts, tiered link building, and all of that kind of stuff, mix it all up, do some PR around about it as well. When I say PR, I don't mean go out and spend $5,000 and getting yourself in a newspaper. There's a lot of PR gigs out there from Randy Roday, Nix Lee, and a whole bunch of other guys, Magic PR, and so on. And they're a lot more cost effective, and one PR run could probably get you about 40 links, from a whole bunch of different news websites. So that is also another way to mix that stuff up. So and that's what you need. You need volume and power to get those highly competitive keywords. So that is what I would be doing. Richard B, what are your tips growing a Facebook group from scratch? So that's something I'm obviously doing at the moment, Richard. And I think one of the biggest things that I done was I gave away some courses last year, just when COVID hit, and I tried to funnel all of those signups into the group. And obviously I do these kind of live question and answer sessions in that group, which obviously goes out across LinkedIn and various other places as well. But I think, that is my way of growing it. I offered something for free to get people in there, but you've also got to keep adding value to that group and doing live Q&As and regular decent content is going to help grow that group, because people need that engagement and they need that community thing going on. But to get that done in volume, you can use paid ads and everything else as well and funnel people into your group. My way was giving away a course, and I got quite a lot of people signing up to it, and I said to them, I emailed them and everything else, come on and join this group and we'll do Q&A sessions and everything else. So offering value is certainly that way to do it, but you can also use paid ads and everything as well to get people into your group. So all of that stuff works. Do you have any useful tips to get new clients as a freelance writer? Again, what I said to the guy earlier is participate in groups, get yourself in there. There's a lot of good SEO Facebook groups and guys are crying out for good content writers. So if your stuff is really good, get in touch with someone and, get them to do a case study on it or whatever, write for a couple of guys for free, and get them to say, oh, check this content out or whatever, and you will be inundated. I mean, there's a ton of content writers out there, but there's not a ton of good content writers out there. And I think, it's just about showing that to the world and getting, Facebook groups and Twitter and LinkedIn and getting it all over that will certainly bring in good business and good revenue for you. So that is where I would start, and very quickly word will get around, and word of mouth is still one of those things that works really well. And I think, if you have some good quality stuff going on there, people will bite your hand off. I've tried for years, always had problems finding good content writers. I've got 2 people who work full time for me content wise because I just wouldn't. I've always had bad things with freelance writers. Now I have got some new projects in the go, and I've started to use other freelance writers again. But I've had my fingers burnt so many times. But if there was a guy that I knew was good and we knew his prices and everything else, then you're not going to be short of work. So just put yourself out there in the groups. Don't be shy. Guys, keep the questions coming, and make sure you do give us a little like and subscribe if you haven't already. James Jernigan, other than maps and YouTube RSS feeds, anything else you can recommend embedding in the Money Robot links? I mean, iframes. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you can embed there, but how far do you really want to go? Is it that powerful? I mean, I wouldn't be, spamming the world with it either. But you could do some iframe stuff as well. But to be honest, Money Robot is just one of those things. As I say, I simply use it for part of a tiered link building structure and embed some of my videos and stuff like that. I don't go all out with it, and it's not as if there's some crazy strategy. I've just got, like, if I get a guest post or if I get, a press release and it's in this paper or whatever, then I'll go and blast some Money Robot at it. That's it. There's no other real special trick, to be honest. I know Holly Starks, uses Scrapebox, scrapes up a whole bunch of unique websites, and they embed stuff doing it that way. She doesn't import that into Money Robot because you can't. She's using GSA. So you need to weigh up, Money Robot also is submitting the same junk to the same bunch of websites. You don't have that element of control of where you submit them to. Whereas something like GSA, you can use Scrapebox, Scrape a List, and get unique websites to pump your stuff to or embed your videos to or whatever, and that is what makes the difference for me. So if I was going to be embedding stuff, as I say, I use Money Robot to power stuff up. If I want to do embeds or whatever, Scrapebox and GSA, just because you can scrape up your list and submit to something that not every other Tom, Dick and Harry's got. So that's what Holly Starks has been playing around with recently, and I think that's an amazing way to do it. So that's another wee tip for you. Rugavir, best way to rank business-to-business cosmetic website, apart from very powerful content pages around 800 words, good page speed, any other factors you want to share. Content and links, mate, that is the main thing. Good on page is also very important. Make sure that you are adding semantically related keywords, subheadings, and everything else. 800 words, who said it's 800 words is the best content volume out there? That is where you need to look at something like Surfer, POP, or something like that to identify how many keywords or how many words on a page is actually required to rank for a given search term, rather than blanket saying powerful content around about 800 words. Some powerful pages have 2,000 words. Some, niches can rank with 1,200 words. So, using a blanket approach is not going to work. Make sure that you do use the tools that are available to you to identify what the others are using, the volume that other people are using, and apply that to your website is the only way it's going to work. Hello, Morris. Best way to rank GMB for keywords like real estate, lawyer, Toronto. Citations, sending traffic to your GMB. Building a handful of links to the CID URL are all going to help you. It shouldn't be that hard. GMBs should be fairly easy. What I would say is the biggest things are good citations and sending traffic and engagement to that GMB. You've seen Holly Starks rank GMBs within a week. It's all about those 100 phones that she's got and all that engagement. You might not have 100 phones, but you can send Facebook traffic. You can tell, people to click on it. You can use, Gumtree, Facebook, local Facebook groups, whatever. Try and get that engagement on there as well, because it really does help. Richard, what am I focusing on in 2021? I've got a couple of new projects that are not SEO related. Well, I will be using SEO to make money on them, but they're not SEO related websites that I'm launching. Just going to continue doing what I've been doing, trying to build my YouTube channel, and we'll see what happens. I've got some projects on the go, and hopefully they're going to be successful. But I think for me, it's just about launching 1 or 2 new things per year rather than 10 new things, because I get easily distracted, and just keep trying to add quality to my portfolio and do things properly. Because I think in the past, I've been like 5 different ideas and I do all five of them, but they're all kind of half-assed attempts. So I think, launching 1 or 2 new projects whilst continuing to grow the YouTube and everything else is pretty much where I want to go with things. I've got 52,000 subscribers. I want to try and get to 100,000 by the end of next year if I can. And it's that's my goals. As I say, I'd like to do more, and you never know what happens along the way. But I don't want to focus on too much stuff. I just want to launch a project, get it working well, and then look at other things. So, yeah, that's my way of doing it. I need help with getting client for my new CRM service. There's loads of ways: SEO, paid ads, Facebook, everything else. Obviously, I can't help you here because I don't know anything about your CRM service and stuff like that. But, CRMs, there's a ton of them out there. You need to just market it well, talk to people, just get it out there, using paid ads and everything else, and engage in groups and network with people and everything else. So that should hopefully help you. Kazi, James Jernigan, I was actually planning to get my hands dirty with Scrapebox soon. I don't rely on Money Robot much either, but I must admit it's fun to play with these different automation tools. I agree. I love tools, automation, and stuff like that. I think the key part here, James, is obviously we all love tools and automating stuff, but you've also got to understand the limits of the likes of Money Robot and what it can be used for and where it's potentially going to shoot you in the foot. And I think that's why, getting dirty with Scrapebox, fully understanding how to scrape those lists up yourself and then run it through a GSA is, just playing with all these different things is just going to give you that edge over the competition. So I'm like you, I love the tools and I do love playing with Money Robot and everything else, but because everyone uses it, the problem you've got here, James, is no one can be arsed learning Scrapebox. No one can be bothered scraping up their own list. They just want to press start, enter a few URLs and press start. That's why a lot of people go to Money Robot, and that's why Money Robot is, become less effective, if you like, because people don't want to do any work. And I think the key part is just getting your hands dirty, on Scrapebox is something that, a high percentage of other people just don't want to do. And that is what's going to stand you in good stead ahead of the competition, in my opinion. So I think you've just got to play around, mate, and see what gives you the biggest impact. But yeah, good luck with it. I have noticed right away that I'm maybe too newbie rookie for this live. There's never anything like that, Morris. Everyone's at different stages of their careers in these lives. You can ask really basic questions. You can ask really technical questions. It's a mixed audience. Obviously, we don't want to be answering what is SEO and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a reasonable level here, but never be scared to ask a question, man. It's there's a lot of good information in these lives and many other people's lives as well. So good on you for coming along and having a listen anyway. But yeah, and don't be scared to ask anything. We've all been there, new to the industry, and you're like, oh, geez, that's too much. But I can assure you, if you stick with it, you can learn a lot. So good luck with it, Morris. Kazi, what factors do you mainly look into when buying a started affiliate website? So I'll be looking at the backlink profile first and foremost to see where it's at. What I'm looking for when I'm looking for an affiliate website that's started is basically someone who doesn't know what they're doing, believe it or not. Now, basically someone that's probably put on a lot of content there, which would allow me to go in and build links and do better on page, is what I'm essentially looking for. Out with that, if there's something there that someone's taken to a reasonable level, I would always happily take it off their hands and scale that up. But I think the biggest way for me to get something is looking for weaker website, someone who's just not good at off page, or whatever. What I'm really looking for is someone who has blasted a lot of content on there and doesn't know what else to do, and they've not monetized it properly. That is where I will step in, ramp up the content, ramp up the link building, and then flip it for a much bigger fee. And that is what I'm essentially looking for. I'm not particularly, overly looking for successful websites, because I think where you make the money is taking something from, say, $1,000 a month to $5,000 a month. That's where you're able to flip it for a lot more money. So that is the kind of way I look at it. I'm not interested in buying successful websites. I'm interested in taking something that's potentially fairly weak and then scaling that up and then flipping it on. And there's a lot more money in looking at it that way. Buying successful websites is just not going to be profitable. You could be smashed with an update. So you paid £1 million for a website, and then the core update comes out and your traffic dips by 50%. That's 500 grand down the pan, and no one's wanting to take that kind of risk. So I think that's why I look at it from a slightly different perspective. Usama, best platform to buy links. You've got getmelinks.com. You've got linksforyou.com. There's a whole bunch, serpninja.io. There's so many different guys out there selling links, and I've not used every service under the sun, but I've certainly used those 3 and can highly recommend them. Rugavir, how many tier links should you build for one link which is pointing to your website? Support link to main page from Web 2.0. That's a very difficult one to answer, Rugavir. So if I buy a guest post, I may give it, 10 niche edits and then see where it goes before I decide if I need another 10 or if I need to do Web 2.0s or whatever it might be. So I can't give you just a blanket statement of, you build this and then throw 10 of that at it. That's not how it works. If I can get away with building, say, some PR links and that's enough to rank a website, then that's all I'll do. But if it's going to be PR, guest posts, PBNs, Web 2.0s and everything else, then that's also what I need to do. But there is no blanket statement. You've just got to do a bit, see where your ranking goes, and then decide what you're going to do next. So, for example, if I'm in position 5 in page 1 and I've got some guest posts and I've got a bit of everything else, I might consider a 301 redirect from a good, relevant, expired domain. I may consider, more guest posts. I might just do a little bit of PBNs, 1 or 2 PBNs or whatever it might be. So there's no right or wrong answer here. You've just got to assess it case by case on that kind of basis, and that will help you, decide how many you need. But every niche and every website is different. So I don't want to sit here and say build 20 tiered links to every post or whatever. That's not what it's about. It's just how many do they need. So just be careful with it. You don't want to overdo it. And no problem at all, Richard. Page speed or mobile friendliness. If I had to pick between the two of them, then mobile friendliness is vital, because more and more people are using mobile devices. I think 60 or 70% of people, if you look at analytics just in general, are probably using mobile devices. So mobile friendly is more important than speed for me. While speed is important, I think you have to be careful of, is a website going to rank any better if it loads in 1.5 seconds or 1.2 seconds? I don't think so. As long as you're kind of under the 2 seconds marker, then I don't think you need to obsess too much over speed. And I think a lot of people in this industry just believe everything about speed, and that's not a bad thing to do, but spend your time in other areas as well. Get more content, maybe improve the mobile friendliness, and you might stand yourself in good stead. Sad. Hey man, hope you enjoyed your holidays. I sure did. Hope you did too. Your insights on automation and any guidance you'd like to give to agency owners to save time when working on projects. So it's hard to give you, a lot of agencies have got different processes. So what they decide to automate and what they want to do manually is entirely up to them, and it does differ from agency to agency. There's a lot of different things you can automate. You need to have good SOPs, you need to have good everything, but You can automate a lot of your social media. You can automate a lot of your LinkedIn stuff. You can automate a lot of your reporting to clients, using Google Data Studio and SEMrush APIs or whatever. And all of that kind of crappy work that you don't want to do, that's a bit repetitive and tedious, you want to automate. But there's certain agencies out there who don't even do that kind of reporting. They'd rather do a Zoom call or whatever. So it's hard to just give a blanket statement. But, I think, let me say this to you, Sad, right? I was in Poland speaking at an event in September. And basically a guy said to me, Craig, I'm not interested in anything that you've got to say if I can't automate it. So literally anything that's doable on a browser can be automated. And there's guys out there who pretty much automate every single thing that you can possibly automate. So people can go to that level, and then certain people will maybe automate 50% of the stuff or 20% or whatever. What I would say is if something's going to be repetitive and tedious, like reporting, automate that shit all day long. Automate your invoicing, automate the follow-up reminders on your invoicing, all of that stuff, because you don't want to be on the phone chasing up invoices. Automate all of that garbage so that you can save time working in projects. But again, I don't know your personal pain points, but everything can be automated and allow you to basically crack on and do what you do best, which should be SEO or whatever it is you do. So, get custom built tools. I automate a whole bunch of stuff, invoicing and everything. So, yeah, it's a hard one to say as a one, this fits everyone. So it really depends on you. Do I recommend to buy expired domains and build links on them like Web 2.0 style, links for money website? An expired domain, you build a website out on it, treat it as a real website, like an affiliate website that's also a PBN. Make that website make money for you. I mean, I think you need to steer clear of the Web 2.0 junk style. I treat every expired domain as a real website, really. On the odd occasion, I will redirect it into a website. But most of the time, I'd rather build a project on it, an affiliate website, and use it as an asset. So that's just my strategy. But yeah. Just Free Hub. Hi, Craig. If we have a local business website, but unable to find some good local and national websites to get a backlink, can we go for worldwide websites to get backlinks? And can it help in ranking? I mean, you can get links from anywhere, but you need to try and get the crux of your links from the kind of location you are targeting. Now, I'm based in the UK. I try and get worldwide rankings because people can buy SEO anywhere. So of course you can get worldwide websites. I can get links in the India Times or California Herald or whatever, and that can help rankings. However, depending on what you do, and I've no idea what you do, there's got to be local and national websites out there that will help you get a backlink. If you can't, there will be someone that buy some guest posts. Money talks. I mean, people are not just giving backlinks out willy-nilly. Money talks. You can buy these things. So I would be looking, if I was in the UK, so I am in the UK, but if I was only focused in the UK, I would want the vast majority of links that I get to come from UK-based websites. But depends on what you're offering. Again, if I was in India and I wanted to rank in India, then I would want a whole bunch of Indian backlinks as well. Nothing wrong with getting a few American and various other bits and bobs, but you would want to show Google through your backlink profile the country that you are targeting. And money talks, you'll be able to get links one way or another for your website. Dan Jones, what sort of strategies have you found effective when using Epic Traffic Bots? So Epic Traffic Bot, I haven't played around a lot with. I'll be honest, I bought it, and it looks like a great tool. It's just a bit fiddly for me. Do you know what? It's one of those ones you look at it and you're just like, I can't be fucking arsed doing this. So I always end up going back to micro workers and whatnot, and paid traffic. Epic Traffic Bot, I'm not sure how effective it is. In all honesty, I think the platform's a bit clunky, and I've never really just spent that much time doubling down on it. I think the methods behind it, and it doesn't matter whether the dashboard looks crap or not or whatever. I think, you know, the way it's set up probably will work really well, but I just not had enough time to really spend that much time on it, you know, and I probably should. You know, because I do a lot of CTR, but I just do flip back. It's just easier to boost a post or, you know, use micro workers for me. And so I can't really answer that one with any great detail, because I've used it sparingly, if anything, and not enough to determine whether it was amazing or not. But it does look like a great tool. I've just been lazy and really busy in the last few months to do a great job with it, to be honest. David Moore, I often hear things like the 35 times multiple quoted for affiliate sites. Do you think that present sites under, over, or fairly priced in the marketplace? So 35 is the kind of standard thing, but if you go to Empire Flippers or whatever just now, some websites are selling for 42 times their monthly revenue, and sometimes even higher. So I think, to be honest, they are going up, and you know, I'm not going to say it's not fair, but I think 35 is achievable. When you start going up to, you know, 40 or even close to 50 times the monthly revenue, it is probably overpriced. But as a guy who buys websites, of course, you know, overpriced websites is good for me, you know, if I'm selling. But, you know, trying to buy websites, you know, people then use these multiples to sell you websites, and that can become a bit of a pain in the ass because they are overpriced, and there's no guaranteed success with them either. But so I think I always prefer the around about 30. You know, I've bought websites at 20 times the monthly revenue because people are desperate. But going up towards 14, 50 is just something I wouldn't be doing personally. I'd rather just start a website from scratch than pay someone that. So I think they are becoming a bit overpriced, to answer your question. Usama, how many links can we build from one PBN? I have a PBN of 10 websites, but I don't have an idea how much I can create links from it and what is a safe number. Now, I'm not going to give you a safe number here, Usama, because it's not something that I can answer with any great detail, because you know, what you're linking to is all your own money websites. You know, you wouldn't want to be creating a footprint by linking out to 5 of your money websites or 10 of your money websites. I think you've just got to mix it up. Now, some PBNs have 1,000 links on them, some have 10. For me, the way I make PBNs more effective is to make sure that they don't link out to every Tom, Dick, and Harry's website. I will use them for only my projects. So there's a low amount of outbound links on it. That's how I see it. I want to retain all of the power for me. So, you know, how many links do you want to link out to? Certainly don't be linking out to other websites of yours, because if that PBN gets slammed, 5 of your money websites go down if you're linking to 5 of your money websites. So you've got to be careful, mix it up, try and avoid leaving footprints, and try and retain all of that power as much as you possibly can. PBN should really just be for your use, not to sell links on. If you are going to sell links, you are going to eventually get slammed. So it depends on what angle you're looking at it from. You know, there's some PBNs out there with thousands of links on them, you know, probably hundreds of thousands. So it's really up to you, but I would try and retain all of the power from me, but there is no magic number. Can we embed YouTube live stream in a WordPress website? Yes. So all you need to do is go to share on YouTube and get the embed code and just put that in. and that will allow you to embed that into a WordPress post, page, or whatever you want to do very easily. So yeah, very simple and easy to do. As Mark says, yes, you can. So there is still 5 minutes left, guys. I have answered all of the questions so far. If you've got any last questions, do put them in the live chat. Also, make sure that you do give us a little like and subscribe on the channel, as that is always much appreciated. But yeah, get any of your last minute questions on here and I will answer them. More challenges like the Vegas challenge. So here's the thing, David, I like challenges like that, and I think it's always good fun, and you know, you see people like Holly doing her thing and Mark Flanagan and everything else. I actually had a lot of people come to me though and say that's a fucking shit thing to do, because basically you're all going to be pissing all over everyone in digital, the Las Vegas digital marketing space, and I don't think that's right. So I had a lot of guys actually come at me, and they're probably right to some degree. So we need to think out the challenges a bit better, because it probably is unfair to say let's all rank for digital marketing Las Vegas, just an off the cuff statement. And then everyone goes in and fucks up rankings for people that are actually there and taking it seriously. So I did have a bit of grief for that, believe it or not, David. But yeah, I agree, challenges are good. Just need to rethink them and try and do things just to keep people going. Yeah, I think little challenges is keeps everyone interested. So I agree. We'll think about something. Sankit, no problem at all. No problem at all, Rugavir. I'm always happy to help. Rohit, how to market a listing website. Same way you would market any other website, really. You know, use social media to drive traffic to it, use paid ads, you know, whether that's Facebook or whatever, you know, get on Reddit, drive traffic from there, Pinterest, any way you can drive traffic to your website is what you want to do, and obviously with a long-term view to ranking that organically. So whether it's a listing website or whether it's an informational website, it really doesn't matter. You know, you've got to market. That's what marketing is, and driving traffic from any sources you can is what you want to do. And obviously for all of us here, you know, we are talking about marketing and all the different tactics, and you know, getting local rankings, getting national rankings, getting backlinks, getting content, all of that stuff is all important, and you have to do all of that to be able to market that listing website. There is no quick and easy fix to market, you know, any website really. You know, you've got to be a bit of investment, whether that's time, effort, and money. All of that is probably applicable. So yeah, just do your best, and as I say, drive traffic from the easy sources. Best sources for paid affiliate marketing traffic without using Facebook and Google ads. I mean, there's paid affiliate marketing traffic. I mean, you've got Quora, you've got Reddit, you've got, you know, you've got these websites like buy sell ads, where you can actually get ad placements on websites that get serious volume. So there's a whole bunch of different ways to get that traffic to your website without using Facebook and Google ads. How effective they all are is down to your own testing. But I know guys that get serious traffic, you know, from Quora and stuff like that, because it's all very low cost stuff. So it's about exploring all of these other things. And you know, I'm taking away from the paid side of things. You know, a lot of people get organic traffic from Pinterest, a serious amount of it as well. So just taking away the paid, you'll also look at Pinterest and other ways of getting traffic as well. I'm also trying out Clubhouse, which is a iOS app, and I'm going to be on there later today at 4 o'clock, and I'm going to try and see what traffic I can get from that. And also, you know, I've played around with TikTok trying to get traffic from that. So never be scared of trying to get traffic from other sources, paid or organic. I think that is the best thing you can do, is to try and exploit these platforms for all you can. And yes, James, people had the balls to get mad because the real businesses get outranked by a little challenge. They'd be better off hiring the winners than just whining, I want in next time. Believe it or not, the people that were whining weren't even in Las Vegas. That's the worst thing about it. They were just like, yeah, I don't think that's right to do this. And, it's not ethical and not the right thing to be doing. And it's COVID and all that stuff. So people have always got opinions. And as I say, some of them are right, some of them are just people being douchebags, and it is what it is. But yeah, a little challenge is not going to go in and dominate the SERPs there, and if it is, then these people deserve to be hired. So it is what it is. But yeah, there's always just you can't do right for doing wrong in this industry. You say something, people jump on it. You make a mistake, people want to kick you. It's just the nature of this industry. It's just full of little bitches, basically, and not everyone. But there are a small element of people who are, and it is what it is. No matter what or who you are or what you do, you're going to cop it somehow. Last question: how can I get my first SEO clients without testimonials or proof? To be honest, Hassan, you're not, if you can't prove yourself and you don't have any testimonials, you are going to find it very hard. Why would someone use you who has no track record of ranking a website over other people who do have that? Now, the way I would word this to you, Hassan, is there's so many bogus SEOs out there. So many people have had their fingers burnt that they have to get proof or testimonials. That is what people look for, and without it, it's just going to be a much harder sell. So think of it that way. Would you pay someone to do your SEO that had no proven records? Probably not. So you've got to either do it for free or get yourself a case study. Just get a website and start ranking it for some stuff and use that as your testimonial or proof. People just need to trust you and buy into that, and without seeing any examples, it's going to be very difficult. So I would be looking at getting it rather than trying to find a way of getting round about it, because this industry is riddled with people who claim to be able to do things that they can't. So you just got to prove yourself. It's just unfortunate that that's the way it is, but it is what it is. But sadly, guys, we are out of time. I will be back on later in the week, but if you're still on your holidays, have a good time, and I will see you all later in the week before the year ends. So speak to you all soon. Thank you everyone for your questions. Make sure you do give a like and subscribe, please, and do check out odys.cc if you're interested in aged or done for you affiliate websites, aged domains, and done for you affiliate websites even. And thank you, Chris, and everyone else. Cheers.